Today, we're diving into an ancient concept that's an incredible guide for life's toughest choices. It's called Dharma. We're going to see how this framework can bring some serious clarity, especially when we feel totally lost.
You know that feeling, right? You're standing at a crossroads, and your duty is pulling you one way, but your heart is pulling you another. It feels like no matter what you choose, you're going to lose something. That exact feeling, that moral gut punch, well, that's at the very center of the story we're exploring today.
So, to figure out how to handle these impossible choices, we have to get a handle on the framework itself. Let's start with the big question: what is Dharma, really? It's a word we've all probably heard, but its true depth is just fascinating.
Okay, so at its very core, the word dharma comes from the Sanskrit root dri, and it means to uphold, to sustain, to keep things going. Think of it like the fundamental law that holds something together. It's the very essence of a thing that makes it what it is.
And these examples just make it click, you know? The dharma of a bee is to make honey. The dharma of the sun, it's to shine. It's their built-in purpose. It's the very thing that defines them. And also, get this, upholds the world around them.
This all leads to a really profound idea you find in texts like the Mahabharata. It's summed up in this one phrase, Dharma rakshati rakshita. What does that mean? Basically, Dharma protects those who protect it. The idea is that when you live in sync with your true nature, that cosmic law actually sustains you in return. It's a powerful thought.
But here's where it gets really interesting. Dharma isn't just one single thing. Nope, it works on different levels, creating this incredible dance between what we owe to the universe and what we owe to our own personal journey. And here are the two main paths we're talking about. On one side, you have Sanatana Dharma. Think of this as the eternal, universal truth, the duties that apply to everyone always. And on the other side, you have Swadharma. That's your specific personal duty based on who you are and where you are in life.
Now, the crucial thing to get is that these two paths aren't totally separate. They're woven together in this big, interconnected system. You've got a dharma for your society, for your family, for your stage in life, and it's the conflict between these different duties that creates those heart-wrenching dilemmas we talked about. And, you know, there is no greater example of this kind of conflict than the one faced by the warrior Arjuna. This is where all this ancient wisdom suddenly becomes incredibly real, incredibly human.
So, picture this. The great warrior Arjuna stands on the battlefield of Kurukshetra, which is literally called the Dharmakshetra, the field of righteousness. He's there to fight for what's right. But then he looks across at the opposing army, and his world just falls apart.
Because he sees his grandfathers, his teachers, the men who raised him, his own cousins, his swadharma, his duty as a warrior, is screaming at him to fight, but his heart, his love, his compassion for his family is telling him to just drop his weapons and walk away. He's completely, utterly paralyzed.
And in that moment of total crisis, his guide, Lord Krishna, gives him this game-changing advice. He says, look, just focus on your duty, your swadharma, but let go of the outcome. Don't worry about winning or losing, fame or blame. The important part isn't the result. It's doing the action with the right state of mind.
But Krishna doesn't just leave it at that. He's about to blow the whole thing wide open. He reveals a higher path, a way to solve this impossible conflict by pointing to the ultimate dharma of them all.
So in the philosophical tradition that comes from these teachings, Gaudiya Vaishnavism, they pinpoint this ultimate duty. They call it Bhagavata Dharma, and it's defined as pure, devotional service to the Supreme. This idea holds the key to unlocking Arjuna's entire crisis.
It all comes to a head in one of the most famous verses in the entire Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells Arjuna to abandon all varieties of dharma and just surrender to him. Now, what he's really saying is, when you change your focus, when you make every single action an offering to the divine, that internal conflict, it just dissolves.
And this is so important to understand. Surrender doesn't mean you just give up and do nothing. Not at all. It means you still perform your swadharma. For Arjuna, that meant fighting, but you do it with a completely different consciousness. You're not acting for yourself anymore. You're acting as an instrument for a higher purpose, free from all that selfish baggage.
And finally, Krishna zooms all the way out. He takes this from Arjuna's personal crisis to something much, much bigger. He explains that upholding dharma isn't just a personal fight. It's essential for the balance of the whole universe.
In this incredible verse, Krishna makes a promise. He says that whenever and wherever Dharma is in decline, whenever things get out of balance and unrighteousness starts to take over, he personally shows up to set things right.
And he's very clear about his mission, to protect the good people, to deal with those who cause chaos, and most importantly, to reestablish the principles of Dharma itself. This just powerfully shows that Dharma isn't just a human idea, it's a cosmic necessity. So, if Dharma is this universal law that keeps everything going, from a river to the sun to the entire cosmos, it leaves us with a really deep question to think about for ourselves. What is the essential nature, the true calling, the Dharma that upholds you?